Welcome to Gorilla Radio, episode 159. Oh, man. Uh, I'm Joe Caprino. We got a special guest from the South, Dustin Bentz, joining Mike and I. So, TripleB is fired up. How is the South these days?
Hey, first, you're going to have to address me as 2023 Folk South State Champion, TripleB. That'll have to be the rest of the show. And I wore my Bobby the Brain Heenan shirt because sometimes I feel like him and I are the only two smart people around sometimes. But the South is doing great. We're awesome. We're excited to host the 2024 IHSA State Finals in the only place that should be hosting it, the Crescent City, Evansville, Indiana.
Man, I need to just let you do the intros. So already bringing the heat. So
I was thinking that, man. Kevin Whitehead, no Kevin Whitehead at Evansville, huh?
Are we going to get
He
him?
Could come to Evansville's close.
Can he pull the Brett Favre and come out of retirement?
Should, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be fun tonight. I know that for a fact. TripleB is fired up. He's going to tell us why Evansville is a better place to go to for state. He's fired up about Team State because the computer algorithm does not like the South. And then I don't know what else.
Hosed.
You got we were talking just before, as we were getting on there. We got a preview of the semi-state coming up this weekend in Jeffersonville.
Hey, I know all you guys ever talk about northern matches in the region and stuff, but this Saturday in Jeffersonville, with yours truly wearing the stripes, I almost wore my ref shirt tonight, but I thought some refs might get mad if I did that. Jeffersonville, Brownsburg, Columbus East, Jennings County, Evansville Memorial, Tell City, South Dearborn. I'm probably forgetting a couple teams, but it's going to be a pretty good day in Jeffersonville Saturday. And I'll be calling pins and stalls all day long. So
that's all you're going to call?
Stalls and falls, baby. That's all we call stalls and falls.
Need a T-shirt.
You're a former heavyweight. You don't know what stalling is. Or actually, you do. But
I did because I was an electric heavyweight, so yeah, I didn't know what stalling was for sure.
Yes. So do you actually call stalling? We need some video of you reffing. I think we need to critique that on one episode. Do you have any video?
No. I don't record myself reffing. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to get Snyder to do it.
I'm sure Morgan will be recording in the corner on his little Samsung device or whatever he has. So.
Oh jeez. Yeah. So Mike's gonna be at the harvest on the mic. Mike on the mic.
On the mic. Yeah. So I get to go back there. We were just talking, then I'm going straight to go play. So high school play, checking those out. My daughters are in it, so that'll be fun.
Oh yeah. So pulling the double. I don't know what I'm doing yet. We have some baseball lessons till about 11. I'm like, man, I can maybe go to Indy. Westfield is the Shamrock Slam. Should be some good matches, but also the Cathedral Duels look like it got beefed up a little bit this year with the addition of Floyd Central. Oh, and Troy Hahn's going to be there. Man, you better
Troy's always there, man.
You better be, hey, on Mat 1, we have, these two guys reffed by the one, the only Troy Hahn.
I used to do that, try to do that when we did the live broadcast. Give, the officials a shout out. They do a good job.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Cathedral Duels has, if this is right, but because no one will get me their schedules, there are B teams there. Ryle, Kentucky, they always have some pretty good kids. Avon, Floyd Central, Greenfield Central, Warren Central, and Indianapolis Cathedral. So that should be a pretty good day of wrestling, I'd say.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good ranked matchups there. It's good to see Floyd get in there and kind of they're like on the bubble. I know that's probably one of the ones, Dustin. Like it's tough. Like I know we've talked about it before. Like we have the vote in, but like I didn't know Hunter May was going back to Floyd. That's huge points. If he was there last year, I'm sure that they would already be in. And obviously, I'm sure Snyder didn't know that they were going to lose Al Capone.
Yeah.
Right.
Snyder. Oh yeah, Snyder. Yeah, they lost VZ and
Ocampo.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna be. That if you take those away and add in, I think it was a pretty close vote, or pretty close, not even vote, but score there. Those are add a state runner up minus a state runner up. That's a lot of points from my calculation.
Put Floyd in. Put Floyd in. Put Floyd in. Hey, I don't get it, man. Last year was East, who wasn't in, got in because of Greenfield Central, did the right thing, and end up getting runner-ups. It's going to happen to Floyd this year. Like, fix that antiquated process of heavy favoring every team north of flipping I-70 and go and give the South some love. I mean, come on. How many? We're going to do this every year.
I feel like, I've had this talk before, and actually Joe made probably my favorite video of all time when I got on this rant. I don't feel like the region gets a lot of love in that either. Like, how many teams from the region are going? Crown Point and who else?
Mishawaka's region when they're good.
No, that's Michiana.
Yeah.
Like, I know Hobart's been, but like, for like when you look at like the placing, obviously like the biggest one's Mooresville. Mooresville gets a ton of points, but like some of those smaller teams at Mooresville get hammered because you do have like the Brownsburgs and you have the Center Grove, Avon. So those bigger teams are going to eliminate some of those guys early, and you're not getting those points. Like some of those smaller schools in that area.
Yeah, West Central.
That's not.
Wallace was. You got New Prairie.
That's not region either.
And
New Prairie has like a
Point.
split. I think they're on the time zone split.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
hey, so
yes, they are.
I mean, in fairness, Crown Point eats up like 8 bids because those kids probably wrestle for 8 different schools. So I mean, really, that's 8 bids there for one school. So.
Wow. Throwing
They
daggers.
represent a couple different states too.
Yeah.
But I think that like it's tough. It is weird because I think like you're right. Like Floyd should be in. Like Floyd's really good. And then it comes down to like a vote where just however they're performing at that time. I think last year it came down to Greenfield Central and Columbus East, and they had wrestled early on.
Yeah.
And Greenfield beat them, but like they had some guys out of lineup, but they ended up being right.
Yeah. They looking at the points here. Snyder had 164.5. Columbus East got in at 160. Floyd Central was and Greenfield Central were both at 159. So they're the last two out. And then you have McCutcheon at 156. New Haven.
It was good. I mean, McCutcheon's good, man.
Yeah. New Haven, who has a pretty good team too, 153. Plus they got Ocampo. So if you would recalculate that, it would look a little bit. I mean, definitely Floyd would be in. Snyder would be out. I don't know. I'd have to get my calculator out to figure it out, but it'd be interesting to see who got in there. And then DeKalb's up there at 168. That's could easily be overtaken by those guys. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what how that transpires.
And now, like, obviously I had this talk before about Lafayette Harrison, but like I feel like it's crazy that like that Jay County area, like they get so many points and those teams get in a lot. I know like this isn't Sunday and we're not talking Adams County, but those I feel like those guys get in, and it's like, how are these guys all getting in here all the time? I know there's not like a ton of big schools competing in those areas, so like it's different, but I think it's harder to get guys through like the Crown Point regional or Mooresville or some of those like Indy regional. I know listening to Dane's show on the Dane and Rex show last week, they were talking about Indianapolis Lutheran. They moved all these teams into that regional, and now they're like the balance is off. They were saying like they moved a bunch of teams into that Perry regional.
Yeah, there are 6 from the Jay County regional that are at Team State. 6 teams.
Is that the most from any of them?
I would probably say yes without going through any. I mean, that's more than all of the East Chicago Central semi-state.
Yeah. And like I said, like obviously, like there's smaller schools in that area, but I think that like they're like, well, like because you have, and I obviously was on there and I was all angry, so I wasn't listening as well. Like sometimes when your anger overtakes your ears, but there like I think like there could be a better like I know coaches have to submit it, but there's like a way that we can look at it now. Like I think we have better idea of like who's doing well at freshman and sophomore. We've seen that. Like, okay, cool, they have a big representation there. That's going to be points in your lineup. Who's doing well at middle school state? Like that's going to be for the most part like the guys that are like placing there are going to be guys that are going to be impact guys. Look at a guy like Henry Farrow is killing it for Belmont right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like those are guys that are going to step in your lineup. I think there's like a system that we can look at that's not like, well, they're freshmen, they'll have to wait their turn. Like it doesn't really work like that anymore. Like for rankings, and I'm sure Dustin's the same way. When I'm looking at like who's going to come in and impact the semi-state, I'm looking at middle school results for middle school state, and I'm like, okay, cool, that guy's a middle school state champ. That's better than a semi-state qualifier, and we kind of got some. We kind of got some flack on that on somebody's like social media, but that's the truth. Like Peyton Hornsby's really good. It wasn't us. It was how we got some slack. But Peyton Hornsby's a guy that's potentially going to be a medalist. Like I don't need him to wrestle a high school match. Dude, I lost him the tick around. There's a freshman. Dude, Alex Church was a freshman. I knew he was better than me when I was a senior. Like when he was 8th grade, I was like, he's going to be all right, man. He's pretty good.
Yeah, Hornsby won national.
Yeah, I mean,
he won the national.
I used to not rank freshmen. I used to not rank freshmen at all, and kind of like that old school mentality. They have to earn their spot in the rankings. But you know, that's just an injustice to the rankings, the integrity of the rankings, the guys coming in. I mean, we've progressed so much of the state in the last 5, 6, 7 years anyway that you're just getting absolute hammers walking in as freshmen now. So,
oh yeah, Vargo's right. Like I would even say. Like winning middle school state's harder than making semi-state. I would say like in some of those weight class, placing at middle school state is harder than getting to semi-state. Like we were just saying like there's some semi-states where you're gonna have a forfeit first round of regional.
Yeah.
Like dude, you're like that. Let's say like 105 at middle school state. Like there's not a lot of forfeits in that top 10, 20. All those guys are gonna be impact guys.
Yeah, there's so many events, just like Nick said, IPO, middle school state, freshman, sophomore, especially freshman, sophomore is huge. I know you use that for rankings. There's a lot of events out there now that we can gauge how good these guys are, especially guys, you know, the hardest one, I know you guys will say this, you know, hardest weights to rank are the upper weights early on because you're just trying to put in names and you're like looking at a regional qualifier. Well, he's 18 and 12 as a freshman. That's probably not too bad at 195 pounds or whatever they're at. But now you can see, well, man, that kid went, you know, he was 4th at freshman, sophomore. Okay, he's legit.
Zach Johansson literally just said the most region comment on here. If they walk in your school, that's 100%. Like that's like
we were doing. I mean, Mike, we were into rankings. We had already posted preseason rankings, and we're still getting messages about kids we had listed at the wrong school. Like the name escapes me now, Deacon Dressler. I think we had him listed as modern day, and he's going to Gibson Southern. I mean, you know, it's just where do they end up at? I'm not saying Deacon Dressler transferred anything. I'm just saying that was an example of a kid that we had the wrong school marked down as.
Yeah, I think there was Wyatt Ulrich too. I think that Sam Howard. I thought like for sure those were gonna be modern day guys. Those guys were like Maurer, Coughlin, everything. I felt like Blake and Matt are like letting Greg down over there. They didn't get those guys in, man. You gotta start making superpowers. I told Joe that a long time ago, man. Fort Wayne needs to get like one team, just combine them and we go compete.
Yeah.
It used to be Yorktown back in the day, right?
Yeah, that was Yorktown. Yep, Yorktown used to have a lot of guys. They were the, you know, to take everyone type stuff. Yeah, they always had quite a few new guys in there. There's some teams that kind of sneaky do it, but it's not. It definitely is. It's weird hearing stuff from different areas, especially the region. Things are a little bit further apart here. I mean, for where I am at, my kids could go to 4 or 5 different schools and not add more than 5 minutes to their drive. But you start getting to different areas, and you're not gonna. I mean, you're gonna have to make a half hour, 45-minute drive to school every day, and that's tough for a parent. So,
Oh yeah, dude. I'm like always confused. Not like that I'm confused. Like the girls drive from Lowell to Andran every day, and no, she doesn't take the highway, but it's 35, 40-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine. I know that Joe Stanley's in here. I couldn't imagine like sending my kids to Mount Carmel. Like we drove up there, like that's a real like time commitment for the family.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's not even
the kids drive.
You're not even adding what the heck. That you're not even adding in going for practice and practice getting over at 6:00 and then another hour drive back home.
Oh yeah, during the worst traffic, man. That 94 traffic is brutal.
Yeah, we might have to go through that this year. I don't know. I gotta figure out what my priorities are when the Cubs sign Shohei. I'm definitely gonna be at Cubs convention. So just Dustin, you want to drive up and broadcast the Mount Carmel and Crown Point duel?
Ooh, get some voice from the South. I like that.
It's an event, man. And it's at Mount Carmel this year. It's definitely cool, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mount Carmel does a good job. We did both of them, and Mount Carmel's was like right on top of you. There's people getting thrown out, people right on the mat. So it was good.
Yeah. So youth baseball talk again. Hey, that's not youth baseball talk. That's the South Side there, Mr. Thomas.
Come on, man. Don't do that.
Do they even have a team anymore? Are they going down to
AAA? You think Otani, after wasting away with the Angels, would go do the same thing with the Cubs? I mean, the Cubs and the Angels kind of – I mean, the Cubs won one in 2016, but I mean, other than that, they kind of mirror each other.
I don't know.
He come waste away with the red. Come waste away with the Red Legs.
Yeah.
They got the young team, man. I can't see him leaving the West Coast, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where he lands. That's for sure. It's Cubs are going to offer him like half of Chicago, so actually he probably buy Chicago with what they're going to offer him.
Circling back to that sectional realignment and stuff, I just got to plug like my sectional, Jennings County sectional, the largest sectional in the state now. Added Franklin and Indian Creek. Salem, I think they also added and moved 0 people out. So way to go, IHSA. Way to make our day even longer now in North Vernon, Indiana.
Man, my geography is weird, but like I feel like those are kind of far drives to go there.
Yeah, that made no sense. And like for example, Switzerland County kind of up and coming. We did an article on them last year, but they should be, if you look at a map, they're like 30 minutes from that South Dearborn or Lawrenceburg section, whoever hosts that over there. But now they're driving all the way to Jennings County and then all the way even farther next weekend to Jeffersonville for regional. So yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense on any of that realignment, but maybe now we'll get more points in that BCS kind of alignment point scheme with the sectionals. Now we can scheme a couple more teams into those team state duels. So
do you think that, and I don't know how any of it worked. This is like a legitimate question. Like, did someone from the IHSA just like move the teams and say, hey, this is how it's going to work out? Or like someone from the wrestling community say, like Chris said, hey, we're going to take the Fort Wayne semi-state champ and put him in East Chicago.
And I don't want to misspeak, but wasn't it? It was the Coaches Association, right? Like, I don't want to misspeak. I'm just, from what I've heard, I believe it was the Coaches Association that helped with that. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sure my phone will blow up here in about 0.2 seconds telling me I'm wrong, but
they had a meeting, and I know there's some coaches on it. So, but I know they put together kind of what they thought, and then the IHSA kind of does, they look at it and then changes it however they feel it works. So, and I don't, it's
Cook.
Our president,
Jason Cook.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but some of those were like seem like
Falcon said, "I'll take the fall, fellas. Just tell them it was me." That was Big Robert there.
Put Falcons' phone number on there so people can call him if they have complaints. Let's see how long you stay as president, real quick.
Call the IHSAA or call the Indianapolis Star and have them do an article on this.
Oh man, did Joe sent me that when we were doing it? He's like, "Did you read the Indy Star?" I'm like, Never. I've never read the Indy Star. Like, and anytime I do try to read the Indy Star, I'm not paying for the Indy Star. And like Cook told me last year, I think like, it was an open article. I definitely checked the articles. A lot of those are not open. But how was that drive for you guys to Evansville? Because it's going to be a hike for us, man. It's far.
It's I mean, just for us already in the semi-state, it's 3 hours from Madison to Evansville. I mean, nobody's gonna any sympathy for me about whining about having to drive because we do it every year.
Yeah, we're coming from the furthest part, man. It's pretty far.
I'm 5.5 hours or 5 hours away or something. I don't know. Whatever. It's far enough.
Hey, I heard Crown Point's chartering a jet. Surely you can get your way on that, right, Mike?
Yeah,
I heard.
Hey, I think I could, man. Honestly, I got like a ghost ticket for the state championship football game that I didn't take. Like they're like, "Do you want to go? We're leaving right now." And I was like, I feel like it looks bad, but I've never been to a state football game. I didn't go, but it was close for about a half. And then after that, man, Ben Davis is pretty good.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, here's the deal. Go ahead.
IndianaMat's going to charter a party bus that starts from Fort Wayne, goes to Indy or Evansville.
Through Madison?
I'm sure. Why not? I mean, why not just
We're in. We just got the plug, man.
It's a straight shot. Just you can come to Madison and then it's like an L. You'll get there.
Yes, eventually. Yes, yeah. We're
gonna fly out to Gary Airport.
Yeah, we're gonna have stops, in Anderson, Indianapolis, Bloomington, Madison. We're just gonna French Lick. Maybe we'll go visit Larry Bird. So
that'd be great.
We better leave Tuesday and just take our time. I'll come to Fort Wayne and just ride the bus all the way back down. I mean, I don't want to miss any stops.
Yeah. Oh man, I can only imagine on the way back there will be no the radio will not be played. It'll just be silent because everyone's probably gonna be hungover.
Hey, talking about state, I know people are kind of critical of Evansville, and we'll just kind of dang a little carrot that I'm working on doing a live guerrilla radio Thursday night at state. I reached out to some of my buddies in Evansville. They hit me up with some establishments. And we're going to look on doing a live guerrilla radio open to the public Thursday night. So that wouldn't happen in Fort Wayne. Doesn't happen in Indianapolis either, nor would it ever happen up in Maryville, Crown Point, East Chicago, whatever. Only in Evansville will TripleB bring you.
We can make that happen. I'll tell you, if the semi-state was in East Chicago, we'd make that happen. I think the thing is for a long time, Joe was coaching and they had a lot of success at that point. Not as much success right now, but back then, Carol Fort Wayne was doing pretty good. So, except for one night, I remember in the old war, Joe had a lot of guys Friday night and did not have a lot of guys Saturday morning.
He was pretty sour that year. He didn't talk to me at all.
We met for a couple of drinks and Joe put him
away. Now I can do them for fun. I don't have to be stressed out. That's the best part. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking to have something on Thursday evening. I know that I'm planning on getting in Thursday evening. So
yeah, I'll probably there's no way I'm driving down that morning. I'll come in Thursday evening.
Yeah, so I think we may or may not already have hotels and at least like 3 or 4 rooms. So we're gonna be and maybe just have it in our hotel, have a little bit have a show and
he just said he'd get us a sponsored place, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna have our own.
If all else fails, we'll go to the Hillside Inn and have some hog brain sandwiches and do a little broadcast right next door to Modern Day. So we'll figure something out.
I think we can make that happen. If it was in the region, I think we can make it happen. We get it right on the square, dude. It'd be all right.
If we got that far up, we just go to Chi-Town and do something at that point.
Dude, we took the back road to Mount Carmel one year through Gary, through Black Oak. I thought. Nick was scared. Nick was definitely not.
Yeah, we cultured Nick. He did not tell Ann about his trip through Black Oak.
We'll have to go, man. Get some people there. Maybe do like a long show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll be. I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited just to go to Evansville for one time in my life, and then say I've been there, and then I can be done with it.
You've never been to Evansville?
No.
Hey, once you go, you'll want to have it there every year.
Nah,
They
I
do
don't
have
think so.
semi-state, right?
Yeah. Evansville semi-state. The Ford Center, baby. Ford Tough Locks. Will we do some state Ford Tough Locks this year? Will TripleB do his semi-state preview rolled over the next weekend to state with my Ford Tough Locks, Barry Horowitz terrible draws? I don't know. We might get wild this year. Who
Man,
knows?
2 weeks in a
How's it
row
for you?
with
We
Dustin.
put it on Main Street, man.
Ooh, Unfried says Teroni's. Teroni's is solid. I've been there before. Evansville, the Gerst House, Hillside Inn, Teroni's.
Their house is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I hope
I know,
I know we're gonna have a do you even need to preview the wrestling? Just preview all the good food places.
Wrestling is, we know Evansville will win 50% of the medals, blah, 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 blah. We ain't got to do all that.
Nice.
Hilltop. I keep saying Hillside. Hilltop. Thank you, Tony. Hillside's a hotel in Madison. I always mix that up every year.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited because I felt like Modern Day used to bring like a huge section of people, right? Like there'd be like whole sections. Now we're gonna be like right in the middle of it. I hope they fill up most of the arena.
That'd be fun. It always was like Modern Day versus the world. Is that kind of like going to NCAAs in Iowa? Everyone was cheering against them just because is you're either Iowa or someone else. There's no so yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So what other Dustin, you gonna do any flexing on us, or are we going to
Hey, the flexing. Hey, enough flexing in your college announcement photos. Do something more original. Half you guys only have biceps to be flexing. So, in fact, from now on, Joe, you should just Photoshop yourself flexing on every college announcement for the rest of the year until they do something different.
If somebody posted one of them flexing, I can just redo it. I can do it with my face.
Yeah, why did that become a thing?
I don't know. I do not know. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So you got Floyd going into the duels.
Floyd's in the duels. Cooper Samuels, if he's making some very logical arguments on there, but there's no logic. Floyd's in. If they're not in, that's all I got to say to that.
You need to talk to. Maybe we can get you to meet up with a Maligned like we did last year, and you guys can have a face to face about how the logarithm does not.
There's a reason they quit doing the BCS with the college football rankings. There's a reason they quit doing that. They should put 12 of us in a room in Indianapolis every Tuesday, and we'll figure it out.
Sounds good. You got to make Dane upset. I got your list here, so don't worry. How are you going to upset Dane?
I don't know. Dane always gets mad at me for some reason or another.
Have you been on the Dane and Rex show yet?
I've never been invited because I'm south of Indy. So
I feel like at one time it was like you and I were like the most frequented guests, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know who it is now.
I haven't
been.
been.
I feel like the coach from Adam Central, man. I feel like he was like a co-host like last week.
Curry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they like giving Curry some love.
Like periods.
Yeah, but they have Gable on there all the time, so I guess you're not as good as Gable. Is that the only one south of Indy that they can talk to, or what?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
You have to file
Gable and Maurer Coughlin. That's it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to file a complaint. Why don't you just send them a text real quick and see what?
Man, but sometimes I go in there with a game plan. It's like this. Sometimes you go in there, I'm like, I'm gonna hit this point, and then it's off. Then it's not even close to what I was thinking.
5 minutes later, Rex is saying, "Okay, nice to talk to you. See ya."
Yeah, so
hangs up on you.
Go ahead. And then abruptly hangs up.
Yes. It's like, okay.
So yeah, and then I'm like, should I stay on the call?
Nope. You have no. They gotta go right to commercial break. They gotta pay for those ads. So so you got pissed off the region. I don't know if you've already
did that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Check.
If you take a shot at Crown Point, the region's happy, man. That makes the region happy. I think everyone's against Crown Point right now.
All right, then region, step up your game, man. If you don't complain about Crown Point, you got to do a better job of selling your schools then.
That's what I was saying. Man, that Crown Point Portage duel was pretty lopsided, and they didn't have a bunch of their guys.
Yeah.
Crown Point, hey, Portage blasted that out, man. They was sure everybody to know that Portage shut out Crown Point that day.
That was the
right?
flip.
2 weeks ago?
Well, the B team, they beat up Crown Point's B team, but the A team.
Nothing said B team in any of the posts I read. That's kind of like last year when Madison Junior High beat the Modern Day Junior High team. They brought 4 kids, and I just put the score out. I didn't put anything about who Modern Day sent. I mean, 2 kids were like blind, and 1 kid couldn't stand upright. But I just said that we beat them 75-6 or whatever that score was. So
yeah, hey, that's the text I got.
You don't say any of that. Hey, they put that team out there. That's a dub.
Seeing that Mount Carmel Crown Point duel getting a little spicy on the board.
Oh yeah. That's just like, yeah, that'll be that's going to be a good one. That's going to be an Indiana Northwest Indiana region all-star classic.
I know. It's going to be tough. I want to get like more like Hobart and Crown Point used to do a duel. I'm surprised they don't do that anymore. Is that still on the schedule?
I don't think so. I don't think they have one. I mean, I do.
It was like it was like a Friday night, like before their conference or something. But I guess that's why Mount Carmel's there now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they wrestle anymore. Now the Clark boys are going to be back. Yeah, if they went to practice this week. Yeah.
How many practices do you have to get in before you can compete?
5,
10, right?
4 or 5, I think. Oh yeah, they do wrestle on January. Wait, that's not right.
Joe said next week.
So yeah, they probably might have taken a day off or 2. Yeah, they played in the.
Look, we got 9 different numbers from all that. We got coaches all throwing out different numbers for practices. 4, 5, 8, 4.
See, this is what they're gonna do, man. They're gonna get them out there for 4 and then get them in trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, see, they were going to morning practice at CP during football. I heard they were counted there as present the whole time. So.
Nice.
Who's gonna win the 4-way semi-state now?
Delta. Yeah, Delta's probably our Delta or Western. Western has some pretty good kids coming back. You have some horses. I don't know. Delta's going to have a little bit more depth. Let's see. What
Do you think?
You better say Delta. You have people breathing down your throat if not.
Yeah.
I like Cody, man.
I wouldn't say Delta, but $5 is $5. So.
Yeah, Delta probably. I mean, Jay County will have some horses in there. They're gonna go through a pretty good, solid sectional and regional.
Yeah, they got 8 teams on a team state, man.
Yeah. I'd say Belmont has a few good guys there. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it could be. I mean, Adams Central has some pretty good kids returning. They don't have. They were in the mix a couple last year, and they have some good big guys. They might, get those guys back from football. New Haven has some hammers. Should be very interesting to see there.
Who's gonna win Evansville? Brownsburg?
Ooh, man, I don't know. Right, Brownsburg or Center Grove. Depends how that Center Grove lineup shakes out. Like, and then of course Brownsburg. Like, do they stay? I don't know. It's too early for me to make that prediction.
I think they're. I heard they might get another gun back, man. I heard they might get one more nice piece back to their lineup, Brownsburg.
You gonna say or just leave us hanging?
I can't say it because if I'm wrong, then I look silly. But I think people know.
We'll tell you off the air. That's a paid version. That's Gorilla subscription. So if you're if you're a subscriber, you can stay on for the after show.
They the pre-show today, man. I don't know what was going on. I think this Bears game had me fired up. Cairo Santos out here missing field goals. The only good thing you can bet on. But Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I think that Brownsburg Crown Point duel is gonna be really good. It'd be interesting to see who gets in for a team state in the big class. Like who's up for voting on that. I talked to Ed. Ed sounds like Carmel's gonna be pretty. Carmel's usually pretty solid top to bottom. Like Major's really good, but they're not like they don't have guys that are like 4 or 5 champs in there, but they have like just a solid team every year.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. They the teams that are looking outside, looking in, Mater Dei, Maryville, Penn, Zionsville, Hamilton Southeastern, and then Carmel and Avon. There's a little bit of a drop off from Carmel to Avon, but yeah, that's going to be. Whew. I mean, Carmel returns only 7 guys, so that's how they got. I mean, they got absolutely blasted there. Mater Dei returned 7 too. It was 8 at the time, so and they were half a point away from getting an auto bid. So yeah, that's going to be. Yeah, I'd say Mater Dei and. I mean, Maryville probably won't accept, so Penn, Zionsville, they'll see each other. No, they won't see each other before then, will they? Maybe. I don't know.
When's the vote?
I do not know when the vote is exactly.
I'm part of that voting process. I'm not really sure either.
What?
Well, I know the vote is usually on a Sunday, but like I just don't know the exact date.
Yeah, because I thought, let's see. Is it the 20th? It's either like the 16th or like 23rd or 20 or 17th or 20, 17th.
So it'll be before 12/17. So it'll be before Mishawaka, Al Smith.
Yeah, it's always before Al Smith. But I thought, yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see who you'll have.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Because I thought. The Henry Wilkes, Zionsville, no, Westfield's there. Westfield, Snyder, Penn. So yeah, the day after the Hilbert Super Duel, Zionsville. Who will they have? I mean, I'd say it's gonna be that last one's gonna be between Zionsville and Penn. Who does Zionsville have? They have this. They have the Eagle Invite. That's a pretty solid one. They'll have Avon and Cathedral before that, so they'll be tested.
Man, Avon's good too. I thought they had some guys that obviously left. Bo left. Bo was pretty good, and then they had a couple of guys that ended up staying down, like not coming in as a freshman, which probably hurts them a little bit. But they're tough down low, man. They're really tough.
Yeah. So, Zionsville's going to Mater Dei this weekend. So they'll see Mater Dei and Union County, North Posey, Evansville North. Evansville North has some sneaky good kids, don't they, Dustin?
I'm not sure.
150, 170 range. Like 150, 157, 165. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ingram,
Big INTs for the
Peyton
Bears. Let's
Bell,
go.
Austin Bell. Yeah, from 50 on up, they have some solid guys. So, per the profiles, but yeah, so that should be a good, Mater Dei and Zionsville. That's going to be a big match for team state implications. So, so yeah, let's see. Anything else that Dustin definitely wanted to get over before we get on to other things? Enough flexing, hype stayed at the Ford Center. So I think
you said the fort. That was a Freudian slip there saying stayed at the fort.
That's a plug. We're trying to get a sponsorship. We're trying to get an advertising.
Yeah, Andy owes me some money for some sponsorship, so he's gonna start sponsoring it. Guerrilla Radio brought to you by The Fort. The Fort.
We used to do a spot. We just have the rankings used to be sponsored. Are they still sponsored?
Yeah, 3-Time Gear, our exclusive gear vendor. So yeah, they're the ones that come to IPO. They're real good guys, and yeah, if you need some gear, just make sure you pay them. Unlike some people that may or may not run other websites.
They have another Flow Wrestling. We're taking more shots at Flow Wrestling.
Yes, more yes.
Man, I see like on Twitter you're kind of going at those guys pretty hot. You're not a fan or what?
Yeah, you gotta get them. Get them a little. Go after them a little bit every so often. So yeah,
I've been on Twitter getting financial advice from Zach Mello.
That's good. That's good.
He's pretty good.
That's the best place to get some financial advice is Twitter.
That's what I'm trying to do, man.
Oh yeah, they got class. If you did purchase Flow, you get like 46 cents if you fill out a form. So it can't even get you
Do I get to
parking in
keep that
Evansville.
46 cents?
Yeah, you get.
Man, I thought it was $6.
Oh,
We don't get $6
same
anymore.
difference.
Oh,
So Dustin, I pay for your subscription, so I need that $6.
That's why I asked. Do I get to keep that or forward it to you? It's awfully random. Also, the minute you start going at their throat, my subscription got canceled. Also, so.
And so did mine. It's amazing. The vice president calls me, and then all of a sudden, the next day, I can't access Flow.
I lost all my son's wrestling matches. Now I got to pony up or figure it out. I don't know.
Nice. So, anyway, what else are we going to talk about tonight? We got a lot of good events this week. This is as Mike always says, this is the week that the season really gets started. Last week, I guess we'll go over a little bit of what happened last week.
The Red Hawks Super Duel, Goshen, Belmont dominate.
Yes, and there was an altercation at the end from what we have gathered. So,
dude, we're gonna have to get Belmont a private security detail, man. Remember they had it at Al Smith last year too.
Yeah, man, they're just got to get them. They're good boys. You can't be going after them. We did have the turkey duels at Homestead. I made a guest appearance there. Homestead beat DeKalb in the finals. I think saw some good matches there. Northridge kind of gave Homestead a pretty good match. End up coming down kind of to the last match. They would have needed to pin, but it was the 215 between some Caleb Evans and Travis Hankey. That was pretty. It was a solid match. Two pretty good sized 215 pounders, and they both moved pretty well. So that was a pretty good match for both those guys early in the season. So kind of keeping Hankey was one. He went into semi-state undefeated and ended up losing as a sophomore. So he's back and he's pretty good size 215. So keep an eye out on him. The Edgewood Invite, the Gobbler went on. Anything you guys saw that jumped out at you?
I mean, I saw, obviously I was talking with Dane, there was a lot of region teams at Goshen. So I was kind of following that a little bit. What else? YYC Super Duel, I kind of followed that a little bit. Like, nothing crazy. I mean, I think it's still a tough week because you did have a lot of teams still playing football.
Yeah.
I checked out the DAC JV tournament. I didn't go there. I just watched it online.
Nice. North Miami beat.
I ref the Turkey Tussle in Jeffersonville, Corden Central, Scottsburg, and then like 7 or 8 girls teams there, varsity teams. So,
anyone any Corey Dons that stuck out? Because I say Corey Don.
Yeah, Jay Newsley. I think he's ranked in the state. He looked pretty good. Scottsburg has a kid who I slept on in the rankings. Kellen Carter coming off Tommy John surgery. He missed last year with Tommy John surgery. Those were 2 kids that stuck out. Of course, Jeff, Ben Land, and Scottsburg's heavyweight Craig. They had a pretty good battle. Land came out on top. But, yeah, I mean, we look good down south. So
they had that like Gobbler tournament, which is I think we talked about that a little bit last week. Was like a block weights.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
And a lot of I think Center Grove won it. They brought in like 34 kids, which helps. I don't know exactly if I was looking at the scoring now. Yeah, they only scored 1 kid per weight, but that was those are always that's kind of hard to tell when they blocked about 3 dozen weight classes. So
it looked like a handful of like B teams there. I mean, like Brownsburg's B team was there, Perry Meridian, Center Grove. I think it was like a mix.
Yeah, 10 scored.
But Southport, I know there's a couple of real Southport guys.
So yeah, no, yeah, that's pretty. I mean, they had quite a few guys there, and I mean, quite a few teams, 15 teams, looked like quite a few, almost 300 wrestlers. So it's a interesting way to do it, and it's actually probably, especially for the younger guys, it's probably better for them. I mean, they had a 96 to 105 pound weight class, so that was good. 106 to 116 might not have been as good, but 111 to 122. I think they split guys up, so if you do enter multiple kids, they put you in a different pool than the other. It looks like they had the big, crazy brackets, 16 man. You go pools, then brackets.
I think it's really cool, like for a tournament, like you're getting 16 guys in every weight, but also like especially after Thanksgiving, man, like you're getting a lot of matches. You're not like having like it's not like a hard make weight. I mean, you're probably around what you're gonna wrestle, but it's still pretty cool that you get to go in there and get a lot of good matches right in that same weekend.
Yeah, and you don't have to totally worry about your weight, even though you have to stay within a decent amount for your weight management plan. But no, it's a good event, and obviously you got about 300 kids wrestling. Everyone got 5 matches or close to 5 matches. I like the way they did the pools, where they did pool and then a bracket. That way, depending on how you did in your pool, you would kind of get thrown into a bracket that's more even for your ability, and you're going to get 2 or 3 matches at least. Very worst case scenario, you're getting 2 or 3 matches that are at your level, whether it's high level or lower level. So
I think that they should do that more, and I'm sure Dustin can kind of talk to this too. Like in the softball tournaments that we do, like you'll do your pool and it'll just be random, and then you get put into a bracket. So if you did bad in your pool, you're going right into like a really good team, and then you're going home on a single limb. But like it'd probably be really easy to say, hey, we're gonna have a gold, silver, bronze, or you're gonna get an equal amount of games or matches based on like your level. Because at some point, like you want to be wrestling. Like good kids don't want to wrestle really bad kids, and bad kids are not trying to just go out there and get embarrassed,
Mm-hmm.
And then there's
Some of those tournaments. So I've coached several youth tournaments with the Outlaws, and then my son Brendan in 8th grade, I've taken him to some tournaments. But yeah, it's kind of what you say, Mike. Like you have the pool day 1, and then day 2 they split it into different brackets, and then even still they'll wrestle back, so you're guaranteed a max amount of matches. It's not wrestle 3 times one day and then single limb the second day. So it would be cool to kind of see teams go that. I've heard of teams or tournaments in Kentucky that have day 1's duels, and then day 2 is a double elimination tournament. So you're getting 7, 8 matches guaranteed, and it counts. Somehow they do it in Kentucky. It just counts as that super kind of dual point spread or whatever.
I think they kind of went Northmont that way now, right? Northmont used to be straight duels, and now I think it's like one day of duels and one day individual.
Yeah, I thought I posted something about that. Someone was saying something about a tournament, and I'm like, just go with like how they do like Trikoff or the Westfield Shamrock Slam, where you have a pool and then you're putting in different brackets. And then, I mean, I think that's best for teams, especially some like that if you're Crown Point or Cathedral, you're going, you're getting tougher matches as you get going. And then everyone else is kind of, if you're winning, you increase your level of difficulty. If you're losing, you decrease your level of difficulty. And that kind of is
good. Yeah.
So, yeah. No, I think that's a good way to get kids good experiences and, not just have a 60-man bracket and go 0-2 and, they be done and hate life. And, that
sounds like a IndianaMat in-season guerrilla tournament somewhere. We'll do duels one day and individual the second day.
Yes.
I think it'd be good. I think it's just better. Obviously there's levels of varsity and JV level, but I think like even like team wise, there's like you want to wrestle people you're getting better with.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's good for anyone to go out there and get shut out. Right. I mean, it might feel good for the team that's winning, but I don't think that there's a reason some of these teams are leaving and going to different events,
Yep. And a lot of it is just level of competition and getting those matches in. Man, wish I could figure out where. I know I was saying something on the board the other day about pretty recently, and I'm like, why don't we just do something like that and go from there? So I'll find it somewhere.
I'll tell you what they say in the softball world. Say it's a money grab, Joe. They're all about the money.
That's what I've heard from those events. So I've heard. So yeah.
That's what I heard about IHPO. It's just a money grab. Just trying to take everyone's money.
Yeah. So anyway, anything? Let's see what else going on this week. This week we have Zionsville, Noblesville's tomorrow. It should be a pretty solid match there. Noblesville has some, 2 returning state qualifiers, so they should have a little bit of fight in them. There should be a good match there. Terre Haute South and Owen Valley I think Owen Valley, they've been in the mix. They're what, 2A?
Yeah, that's good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're not even close to the mix now. Oh no, they are. They're pretty far out, or they're not too far out, but they're, have a good match there. Could put them in the realm there. Perry Meridian and Franklin, the Tante Memorial. Wait, he's not dead. So it's a Tante, the Tante invite. That should be a good match. Number 10 in 3A versus number 4 in the state. And Perry has some, they're going to be pretty solid again. Mechaniqua and Oak Hill. I believe Mechaniqua is in.
They got some really good guys
in that
too.
Team state. Oak Hill is not. Yeah, Oak Hill's pretty far down, so that's going to be interesting. So that'll be a good.
Hey, you can't forget. Hey, tomorrow night, Madison versus Batesville. That's going on down south. Live on 96.7 WRX, so you can tune in and listen to it on the radio.
You guys are trying to be just like Belmont, aren't you?
We've been doing radio broadcasts for years now. Come on, we do have some Belmont flavor down here with Pat Mendez, but still,
he's turned his ways to the good of Madison.
That's right. We're hoping if we get a Belmont guy down here, we might catch a state dual bid in a couple of years. So we'll see.
Nice. Yeah. Are you going to be on the call there, or are you just going to be announcing? What's your?
I'm not good enough to be on the call, so I'll just be announcing.
You guys got the smoke and flames and stuff like that too.
No, not anymore. We're just old school. We'll just we have a matte light and we have some lasers, and you'll get TripleB on the announcing. That's it.
You have to video that, because I heard the Madison, your big tournament. When you hear you announce the guys, I mean, it's almost it's pretty big.
I don't want to say I know a guy that can replace Whitehead, but I know a guy that can replace Whitehead. But I'm already busy this year for state with it being in Evansville. I'm going to be the host and the MC. So.
Yeah, face for radio. That hurts when they say that, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Let's see. Hamilton Southeastern and Avon, Cowan, and South Adams. That's going to be a good one for Team State implications. Who else is wrestling? Center Grove, New Pal. Center Grove's really good. New Pal has some pretty good guys. That should be.
Yeah, that'll be some good matches.
Yeah, that's going to be some good ones there. Garrett and DeKalb, the battle for DeKalb County. That's going to be a big one right there. DeKalb County Pride, the fight in Tanner Bowman's versus the former fighter Nick Krause. So, battle for DeKalb County supremacy is on the line. I think you might see the Undertaker come out, a.k.a. Doug Smoker from East Side. He might just make an appearance. So...
I could talk about the actual Undertaker, Mark Calloway. I was like, he lives in DeKalb County?
I'll send you a picture here after the show. He might be the Undertaker. I don't know. You got Carmel at Mount Vernon, Fortville. Should be some good matches in there. Get a first look at Carmel. I mean, like you said earlier, Carmel always has 14 solid guys. And that's going to.
I think Mount Vernon, Fortville has some solid guys too.
Yeah. So that should be a good match. Give it a good test for see where Carmel is, and actually Mount Vernon is.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a matchup of Madden Lee, possibly, and maybe Elijah Brody in there.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yep, you got Brody, Mattingly are both projected to be at the same weights. Let's see, you got Brownsburg, Westfield. Brownsburg's first action. Homestead, Carroll. Battle for the big school in Allen County, Pride. So, Crown Point and LaPorte.
That's I was talking to those guys actually. I was talking to Bill this week. They're like on this weird schedule. Like 1 year they don't have any like home duels. So like they only have like I think this year they only have like LaPorte and Michigan City are their only 2 home duels. They happen the same year Jesse's senior year.
Oh, jeez. They need to.
So like that has to be there. Like, and not that those are bad teams, but like they're generally like the teams that don't fill out their entire lineup. So like you could be a senior and not have a match. Wheeler taking on the Calumet Warriors. Chris Trykov built that house, man. That's his place. Maybe get you guys behind the brawl behind the wall.
Let's see. Floyd Central, Jasper. Let's see. I know there's some other good ones. Oak Hill and New Haven. I think that's going to be a good one. New Haven has a pretty solid team. So Oak Hill has 2 really good matches.
Yeah, he had a nice graphic on the page too.
Yeah.
For like big events.
Yeah,
this time.
Bruce, I got a program that'll help me out with that stuff because I am not good at graphics by any means. South Adams at Delta, that's going to be a good one. Wawasee at East Noble, that's going to be a good preview for that regional. And,
yeah, maybe Blake Byerly, Caleb Salazar.
Yeah, Belmont will be at Delta on Saturday. So that should be a good one. They're doing
that probably just be a nice rivalry back in the day, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can imagine back in the day they would fill up the whole both those gyms. Probably got loud and rowdy. So there should be some real good duels going on this week. As you said, this is the kind of real big week of everything getting started. Saturday, the next super duels.
Did Greenfield Central beat Delta this past weekend?
I believe so.
Or was that last week?
That'd have been maybe last week. Yes, they did. 40-27. So that's going to be.
That's a good win for Greenfield Central, special team trying to get into team state, fighting Floyd Central for the last spot, right?
Yep. Yeah. So I know Dane said he was looking at rankings, trying to get them out probably midweek. So waiting for some teams to see some lineups before they make too many changes. Yeah, like I said, the next super duels at Fairfield. No, it's at Lakeland, isn't it? So yeah, they have Friday night. They wrestle like 3 or 4 different locations, and then the last day is at one location. So they have a nice 2-day thing. They have 2. Oh, geez, they're weird. Anyway, HHC Jeffersonville World Championships. Dustin will be there. That's all you got to know.
Stalls and falls, baby. Stalls and falls.
Man, Josh Dobbs doing another interception. Jeez.
Let's see. Modern Day duels will be, we talked about that earlier. Modern Day, Union County, they have the Rainey brothers, Zionsville, North Posey.
Could be a number 1 versus number 1, right? Rainey and Schaefer.
Yeah, definitely.
Which has been, I think, a nice little rivalry in the past.
Yeah,
those have been really good competitive matches.
Yeah, a couple times. The Shamrock Slam, Mundelein, Illinois, Carmel. Mundelein, sorry. Hamilton Southeastern, Homestead, Lawrence North, Mount Vernon, Fortville, Noblesville, Norwell, Roncalli, Westfield, Whiteland, Yorktown, Carroll, Ben Davis. So that's always a good day of wrestling. It's always a real good, well-run tournament. Solid hospitality room if you get in there. So Plymouth duels, Mishawaka, Rochester will be there from my calculations. So and Plymouth. So you get a good preview of that regional.
Was Lowell there also? I think they used to be there in the past.
I know they used to be. I do not have them. I don't have all the schedules, so that could be there. Bloomington will have Bloomington South, Center Grove, Columbus North. Columbus North has some pretty solid kids, don't they, Dustin?
Yeah, North solid. They got some guys there. Thornton's coming back. Shuey, freshman Cohen Long, Evans Severe, several pretty good kids there, semi-state level kids.
Yeah, another kid I thought that was at another squad. I thought he was like a Scottsburg kid, Shuey, or not Shuey, but Cohen Long.
Yeah, hey, I don't want to brag or anything, but Cohen Long TripleB trained, so he's a Columbus North Bulldog now. He was at Scottsburg, now he's a Bulldog. Asher Ratliff, he'll be good, probably fighting for a podium spot. So North will be sneaky, man. That sectional, it'll be really competitive this year, I'm telling you. Coop will have his hands full.
Yeah.
I'm sure Crop Point does want to get Ben Davis on the mat.
Yes.
That's second half one of those sideways for those guys.
Yeah, the North or the South and 6A is kind of good at football. I'll just say that much.
Yeah.
After seeing Carroll at that state last year, I'm like, okay, we might have, and Center Grove put the whooping on them, and then Ben Davis put a nice healthy whooping on Crown Point. So the South has where it's at for 6A football at least. So
for right now, like the last 10 years.
Yeah. The Western Super Duels will be good. You got Hamilton Heights, Jay County, Harrison, West Lafayette, Western. So the three teams that are going to be in the hunt at 2A. So Jay County hunting getting some experience against some of those teams. I think they're new in there. Cathedral Super 6, we talked about that. That's going to be, it says I do have Connorsville there. I do not have confirmation, but if Connorsville's there, that's going to be a long day for them.
Tough.
Then you got the Harvest Classic and then the Old Barn Brawl at Southridge. Are they really wrestling in a barn there, Dustin?
No, I don't think it's really in a barn. And that's where the Cubbies are at this weekend, is the Old Barn Brawl. So
nice.
It'd be cool if it wasn't a barn. That'd totally be a Southern Indiana move there.
It'd be a Southern Indiana. Yeah. I guess I better put Floyd Central in the right event there because it says that they're there, but
I think it's their B team. Their B team goes to the Southridge.
Yeah, I just put it in there because I will say Sisson has yet to return my text about their schedule. I think he's probably still putting it together.
Well, I mean, he jumps rope, so he's probably jumping rope. He hasn't had a chance yet.
The bar brawl? No, the bar brawl.
Harvey, hey, I've ignored Harvey all night. He's had jokes all night. I mean, he thinks he can dress in all black and wear a big 10-gallon bucket hat and thinks he's going to get props on here, but we're just going to keep ignoring Harvey. What school are you even at now, Harvey? I can't keep up. Where you at? Still Center Grove? Where you? I don't know. Cathedral? I don't know. Anyway, skip Harvey. Block him out. Next.
Yeah, I forgot Kokomo's at the Harvest now.
Oh, yeah.
May, Aubin, Dallinger, Smendorf, Cameron Woods. That'd be cool to see Close Chacon go up and wrestle McNutt. I see McNutt on Highlands track wrestling had him at 215, but I know he's been wrestling heavy.
Yeah. If he makes 215, that's going to be very interesting. When do they get the brackets out for the Harvest?
They used to do it on Wednesday, but I believe they do it I don't know. Zach might have a better idea, but I think they've been doing it that morning.
Oh, that'd be all. That's awesome. Got a lot of 285s that would want. Oh, it's one tournament. Have one of them cut down. Yeah. So yeah, day of seeding. Oh boy, I bet that's fun. Especially if he has Johansson there, because Johansson loves to argue.
Man, I got to sit in that a couple times, and man, it is exhausting. I couldn't even imagine sitting in the Al Smith. They're like, well, my kid was at the regional last year. I was like, but everyone goes to the regional, man. Like you're like the kids.
My son was at the regional too. He is 7.
And that's just like the argument for like the 6 and 7 seed. You can definitely tell like again, like the tiers, right? Like the top tier teams, like, draw my hat, go for it.
Yeah.
I think that's what they said that year with Goodwin, right? They're like, Goodwin's gonna be a 7. Like, you know what? Don't even seed him. The year he won it.
Yeah.
Pull him out of the hat. It's fine.
It's Goodwin and Weems. I tried telling them. I was like, and they, you know, they want no one wanted them seed because they didn't have the right criteria. Like they're pretty good, and he was right.
Like common sense criteria is usually better. I mean, I obviously understand there's like a system to it. I think one time we did. We told Dane, and he's like, "Well, you gotta hold the criteria." I'm like, "I don't think we should do that." Like, this is the guys, and I think we were pretty close.
Yeah. No, that's.
And then we keep like our pre-seed like off to the side, and then see how it ends up placing, and it's pretty close.
Yeah, especially when it gets poorly seeded, and then you see a couple bracket busters in there. But it was actually Al Smith was better than you seed 12. There were a lot less arguments because you knew, especially those guys that are like 6 to 5, 6, 7, 8 that are all battling for those spots. You know, there's 7 or 8 guys battling, and then they're like, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna get a 1 or 2 seed early, so I'll take a 9 or 10, and a little bit less arguing.
I think a lot of times when you have like record being the decider, it's tough. I think last year, like Crown Point, I think Christian Washington came in there under 500. Sonny Sessa might have been under 500 too last year going in there. And they were like, yeah, well, you know, my guys, 24-0. I'm thinking like, how do you guys have 25 matches already? Like at Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, some of them are, some get a lot of matches and you can't go off of that. You cannot use the number of matches early in the season. And honestly, because early season, you have 20 matches, even if you have 15 and you lose 2, and that guy that has 20, he can lose 3 or 4 times. It's so.
And then I don't like when it goes sideways. Like, well, they're gonna wrestle it anyways. Like, obviously they're gonna wrestle it. We know that.
Yeah.
Like that's like they want to just do the Connorsville and draw it out of a hat. I mean, everyone can be a blind draw.
Yeah. Then you don't complain. So. Anyway, what else do we have to talk about this week? Any rankings coming out, Dustin?
Hey, you can go ahead and update there wasn't a lot of action last week. I had some weight changes, and I've had weight changes here, but I won't make those till the next time. But if you want to go ahead and update Evansville semi-state number 1, go for it. It's ready.
Okay, we can update those. We'll get those
what about
in the morning.
The big return we haven't talked about, CM Punk at the Survivor Series, right? Like,
man,
massive, man. Massive. Whoever thought we'd see CM Punk back in a WWE ring again?
It did not look like, just from the side stuff, it did not look like the guys there were really happy about it, right?
No, they were pretty upset.
Yeah, Seth Rollins did not look happy.
My wife's met him before.
CM Punk?
Yeah. When he was like doing house shows.
You told me that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of her good friends was like friends with him, like growing up and stuff.
The girls used to love pro wrestling. So we used to meet all the pro wrestlers. And like some of them were like, some of them were really cool. Man, Daniel Bryan was not really cool. He was like really a jerk. And he's little. He's tiny. Like whatever they're saying he is on TV, not close. Randy Orton, best guy ever, bro. So nice.
Oh, we do need to know, Parlor Donuts. What's your review?
Oh, they were good, man. I bought 2 dozen, probably too much. A dozen probably would have been enough.
What do you do? Get every donut they had?
I did, man. I had to give you guys a real review here. Noemi just told me the cookies and cream one pretty good. Oreos on top. I had a bunch of them over Thanksgiving. Had to throw some out. They're good. You're right. They're kind of like a croissant, a little bit, a little flaky. They're really good. Munster Donuts, they're both pretty fresh. Munster Donuts good though.
Yeah.
Munster Donuts really good. I'm gonna get Munster Donut tomorrow. I gotta go to the office. I'm gonna stop by, grab some of those.
I almost want, compared to like a Munster Donut, I'd almost say they're almost in different categories. Because the Munster Donut's it's
Mustard Donut, yeah. Mustard Donut's more of a a traditional donut, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like made there, and like Partly Donut's more of like almost like a cupcake kind of. There's like a lot of toppings on them. It's pretty big.
Yeah, so they're almost different.
Yeah, I'm glad I took up mine. He was not very nice to the girls.
What's the best donut place in Evansville?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure about Evansville donuts. It's usually just straight to the arena, so I'm sure somebody will pop in and tell us.
Man, you gotta know good breakfast places. We gotta have a full gamut of where we're gonna hang out, and I mean, I want like details of where we're going every hour.
I can tell you all about dinner and the nightlife, but the breakfast don't ever hit right. Like breakfast is just we get to the arena for some wrestling. So
yeah. How about Chris Bond's dad doing hot dog reviews from tournaments? That's pretty good.
I thought that's actually the kid doing it when it said, because the screen name's Christopher Bond. I'm like, is the kid really doing hot dog reviews?
Bro, he was a 13-pounder. Now he's like a 57-pounder. I wouldn't doubt it. It says in Evansville right now, #1 donut place, Parlor Donuts.
Hey, there you go.
Parlor's expanding.
2 donut banks.
Yeah. So,
4 donut bank. Sounds like donut bank.
Yeah. So I like the hot dog reviews that was pretty comical. Definitely I'm looking forward to more and more of what schools have the best hot dogs. I thought he was talking about Frankfurt. I was like, okay, Frankfurt, and then like, oh, actually hot dogs. That one threw me off. He threw me for a couple of loops as far as I was thinking Frankfurt, and then also I thought it was the kid posting about his travels. The bank.
Man, we need to get better concession stand reviews too.
Yes.
I think some people throwing some things out there. Lake Central does have a good walking taco, or they did. I haven't had it in a while. They got good. They do have a good hospitality room, or they did. I haven't been there in a while.
They better have a good hospitality room still.
I hope, man. They used to do pepinos in there. It's pretty good.
I'm sure Jeffersonville's going to have a good hospitality room. I don't think Danny does anything without a good hospitality room, does he?
Nah, yeah. Well, you know what, man? Like the Turkey Tussle last weekend, there was no hospitality, but yeah, he'll have it right for the Jeff duels. Usually it's either a pasta hospitality room or a chili hospitality room. Like it's pretty good.
Ooh, that chili wouldn't be good. That second half of the day with refs after have some chili, it might not be good.
You know what? Last year he had Olive Garden and Jersey Mike's. He had it catered last year. That was pretty good. So
wow, fancy in Jeffersonville. They have an Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Clarksville, right next to Jeffersonville. Yeah.
Oh.
Said the cross-eyed cricket for breakfast.
That sounds sussy.
Bro, it looks pretty good. I just looked it up. It looks decent.
Mike's got a separate Google search going on for food in the Ville.
The cross-eyed cricket. That sounds.
Usually it's whatever coffee the Ford Center's serving. That's what's for breakfast. TripleB's breakfast of choice on Saturday mornings.
Man, do they tax like Indy or what? Like Gainbridge?
No, I don't know.
$25 for some Chick-fil-A.
I just charge it to IndianaMat. I could never tell you what I pay. I don't know.
Do you have us a suite yet there, Dustin? That's your only job.
Hey, so Marchio's back. So I know now everybody knows Marchio, but Marchio's always been my inside guy, and he got moved, and he just messaged me the other day that he's kind of back in a role there. So I'm going to reach out and see if we can get the IndianaMat suite going on for sure.
Yeah, we have gear. We'll hook him up with a whole gamut of gear.
During semi-state, they have a $30. Like you have to pay the $10 to get in, but then for $30 you kind of get like a nicer seating area. I don't know if they'll do that for state or not, but man, yeah, hopefully we can land a suite and throw stuff at all the peasants below us. So
that'd be great.
I mean, yeah, we're of the people. I mean, that won't limit us.
Hey, hold on, Blake Harvey, coffee and pulled pork nachos. That's 100% the best breakfast at Evansville in the Ford Center.
Yeah, Bears are down 1 now.
So what is the concessions at the Ford Center?
So seriously, pulled pork nachos are good. Man, I don't know a whole lot other than that. Dippin' Dots, you get Dippin' Dots anywhere and everywhere. No shaved ice, no famous Gamebridge shaved ice that I can remember.
They don't have shaved ice at Gamebridge anymore. They have the.
No, they got.
Oh well. We ran it out, I guess. Maybe we can start a petition to get shaved ice back in 2 years, or we'll just keep going to Evansville.
They have Kona Ice, which is a wannabe shaved ice.
Yeah.
I don't know. State really hasn't been the same since they took out shaved ice. I don't even know if it counts as real state finals.
I feel like semi-state has a pretty massive chicken tender fry basket for a decent price. Maybe I'm crazy on that. Somebody will correct me, but it doesn't seem like the prices are too wild.
Bro, I'm telling you, I think like the state finals changed, saving seats, no shaved ice. It's tough, man.
Yeah, it's not like the good old days,
The mat's not back to back to back. Like you can see the wrestling. Like I don't like that either. Give me those 4 mats the old way.
Oh man, you guys gonna do this like cross thing too?
I don't know if the floor's big enough. You say you all. I live 3 hours from Evansville. I'm just their.
You're the representative, man.
I'm just the representative by proxy. They don't let me in on none of the stuff or anything. So.
Yeah, I don't, because it looks like it's very similar to Fort Wayne as far as I would say it'd be very close for them to be able to do it. They might be able to. I mean, it was pretty tight.
You don't have that. Yeah, no set. I mean, Gamers add a little section between the mats, but maybe if they're all kind of butted up or something. But
yeah, they didn't have. I don't know. I thought that was a little bit better, but there they don't have. Do they
look at Joe Butler? Joe Butler knows the menu. Look at Joe Butler. That's a boy, Joe Butler.
We're gonna have to get him on here for the.
I'm screenshotting this, man. Can I just go in and say, "Give me the Joe Butler" or what?
That's right. Give me the Joe Butler.
He's been to the Evansville a few times. He knows what he gets.
Yeah.
He had to stress eat. I just hang out. I'm still trying to hang. Maybe by the finals, I'm good to eat usually, but.
So the Ford Center doesn't. They don't have like end seating, do they? I'm trying to see.
What's that?
They don't. Okay, they do have a little bit of end seating, right?
Yeah, it's all the way around. Yeah.
Okay, it is all the way. I wasn't sure. I thought it. Most of the way you don't see very much in the end, but I guess it is all the way around. So, okay.
No, they do have an upper level that's always blocked off for semi-state. I'm assuming for state that'll be open.
Yeah.
It'll be a neat experience. I mean, it's a pretty, it's newer than Gamebridge. It's a pretty good, nice arena. I know everybody's talking about the ice and all that stuff, but
I wonder if they'll.
I mean, it's nicer than Fort Wayne, Joe. Let's not get carried away there. I mean,
it looks like a wannabe Fort Wayne Coliseum. That's all I gotta say. It looks almost exact a mirror image, other than less than 100 years old. Yeah, no, Fort Wayne. Yeah, I'm sure that's. And every picture I have seen they look very similar. But they did like Fort Wayne. They literally about 20 years ago raised the roof at Fort Wayne to add more seating. Yep, they literally raised it. We had a bunch of people just go. So, yeah, but no, I'm looking forward to it. We'll be close together. Hopefully, Dustin gets us, pulls his weight and gets us a suite. If not, please put in your applications.
Half the man I used to be, so I don't know. We'll see.
If not, put in your applications for Evansville Semi-State Ranker, and you get to be on shows like this and rant and.
Hey, we'll see. Hey, I've been torn. Like, do I keep ranking next year? Like, that'll bring some tension in the Ben's household if I continue, or do I let somebody else just do one weight class in the rankings next year? I don't know. I've been going back and forth on what to do.
Oh, what's he going to do? Beat you up? He can't beat you up, can he?
No, He's not a state champion like his dad is.
See? He's not even a senior. Yeah. So, until he can take you, I wouldn't be worried about it.
I'm more worried about his mom. I'm more worried about his mom than him. Mrs. TripleB don't play no games around here. She gets that Italian stallion going and it's over. So
she has access to very very potent firearms and stuff from what I've gathered. So,
she's retired, so we're good. We're good.
I'm sure she can make a couple phone calls. So yeah, I guess that's one I'd be worried about. So anyway, Mike, do we have anything else to talk about?
No, I think that's about it.
Any big rants and raves about things?
No, I think I was excited. Like I always feel like this is like obviously no disrespect to the people that have already wrestled, but like I feel like this is the week where it really starts to kick off.
Yeah. The first couple of weeks are kind of appetizers, and then this week it really. I mean, there are probably about 20 duels that are going to be pretty good to watch, and if you're not vested in any teams, or even if you are and you have a free night, go watch one because there's gonna be a lot of good duels, and go support those teams and watch some good wrestling. Obviously, if you go to IndianaMat, there's this. If you go to homepage, and this week it's a whole listing of the matches. Might want to double check on their social medias to make sure that the match is occurring, especially teams.
Do you have the correct times listed too? Also,
as I said, check their social medias just to double check times and everything, but they are fairly accurate. And so, but yeah, like with the football teams, some of the teams that were in football might be. I saw Adams Central move. I think Adams Central and Norwell moved their match. I don't know why Adams Central schedules anything before mid December, but yeah. So check those schedules, and should be some good matches this week, and we'll have I know you'll have a lot of work this weekend. Both you guys will be going through a lot of results and put those in the on the website. Contact them. Contact Howie and Dane and Caleb. So with that, any last parting words there, Dustin?
Floyd Central State Duels. Don't mess it up like you guys almost messed up East last year. Make it happen.
Okay, well, we will see you guys next Monday. Dustin might come on. I don't know. Maybe he'll just be a recurring guest every Monday to talk. Oh yeah, I forgot one other thing. On Saturday, the 2nd, is the 15th anniversary of the founding of IndianaMat. Dustin, can you?
Yeah.
Any memories, any stories you want to share?
Am I the only administrator / ranker that's ever been banned multiple times from IndianaMat? I think I am.
Yes.
That's my memory.
I don't think I've ever been banned.
I got banned one time for calling a move a ghetto blaster when the kid from Cumberland drop kicked the U of I kid. That got me banned for a week because Joe told me to quit and I wouldn't quit, saying it over and over and over. But that's what it was. It was the ghetto blaster from the WWE, from what's his name? Bad News Brown. That's what it was.
Nice.
And then I can't remember the other one. I got banned again right in the middle of like the heat of semi-state rankings. People were fired up. I wouldn't update the rankings, and
it wasn't during. I don't know. You weren't doing the rankings, and I banned you. I don't think, unless it was like, unless it was the old days when it was the when we just put them on the message board and we didn't actually have like a whole page dedicated to them. I don't know. Man.
Yeah, no, man, but for real, hey, I think the coolest part about IndianaMat is just meeting the people out in the state. They're all cool. They always take jabs if they don't agree with the rankings, but I've never had anybody like too upset or whatever. I guess a couple times way back in the day, but as we've all become more educated and gotten things right, it's cool to meet people out and about. Stories from like walking through a bar at 2 a.m. and somebody yelling, "You're TripleB," and meeting these people and things like that. So it's always been cool. I've made good friends through here. You guys, other people throughout the state and in the southern part of the state. The wrestling community is awesome, and IndianaMat just kind of kept pushing that forward. So that's my biggest takeaway from IndianaMat. Just it's closed, brought us all closer together, and we're all working toward the common of growing Indiana wrestling, and it's a pretty neat thing.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that we were kind of adversaries back in the day.
I was just telling some people earlier today, like, oh man, me and Caprino, like I went up to him and introduced myself at Folk South State and said I was Jay Biceps, and it was one of the funniest interactions ever. So that's some old school board stuff for you old timers.
Nice, yeah. Oh yeah, that's some good old days of causing trouble. The old board when we got it's kind of I find it pretty cool that we never really got after it. We had differences of opinions, but also have both love the sport and stuff, and so it's been more than anything becoming friends with guys like you that maybe we're a little bit of adversary and now hang out and stuff. So Mike, any comments on 15 years?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same thing Dustin was saying, like just meeting the people around the state and just kind of, like you really realize how like the boards kind of brought a lot of people together. Like even like the show, like it's one of those things like you see all the people, a lot of the same people in the comments all the time, which is really cool. And that's been awesome. I think and it's just kind of raised every year, like, like you said, like it used to be, pinned to the board. Like here's a rankings pinned to the board, and then it's become like articles. It's become some broadcast and different things like that, which has been really cool. And like all times I'm like, man, I don't know. Like you're like, hey man, like we should do a show. I think it used to be like a Google Hangout. We should do a Google Hangout, and I'm like, for what? And you're like, they're gonna like, people want to talk about rankings. Like no one's gonna watch that. And then like I think like the third show in, like someone was like, man, when you said that, and I'm like, bro, like people are really listening to this. Like I gotta like really like lock this in. But like different stuff like that, like Dustin said too, like it's when you're out, like people are really, really cool, man. And we have a really cool state, and obviously like you and Eric and Chad, throwing it together was like one of those really cool events. And I didn't know you. Like the first time I ever met you was at the state finals that first year.
Yeah.
Like the first time I ever met Chad was at the Trikoff. So it was like one of those things like, hey, I'm Mike Reiser. I did like the semi-state rankings. I think I'm gonna help you do this. Like, I'm gonna like help you with the updates. It was like me and my brother, and we were like partying pretty hard back then. And I think we probably weren't the like best representatives on media, but it's like, man, 15 years. So. Like 24 years old, 25 years old. So it was definitely different. And like, it's been really cool. And just like the friendships and stuff, like obviously, with Dane and Howie and like doing the Top Golf a couple years ago, that was really cool.
Yeah. It's been pretty cool just to see. I mean, it was a Chad Hullenball, Carl Hungus, better known as Carl Hungus, who he lurks on the board. I know still a little bit, Eric McGill, they both talked me into it. I was like, yeah, we can put a website together. I can do one, and I can have it up in a couple hours. And like, do it. I'm like, no, it's gonna be a lot of work. And I know that there were some people that were not very happy about it. Probably still a few that feel the same way, but I think the state's definitely better having that kind of the coverage that we provide, and always just like. It's fun. It's been pretty cool meeting a lot of the people, getting chased down by Grandma Bailey at Connorsville the one time. This old lady chasing me down. I'm like, oh crap! I must have said something really bad about her grandson. So.
Well, even like the national recognition, I think it has been huge. I mean, for the state, like overall, I think with the the dream team and things like that, and going to Dapper Dan or I don't know the name of it now, but
no, that's.
But I think those have been really cool events, and just like I said, like to see it grow like that has been really, really cool, and just kind of been there from the beginning,
Yep, it's now you're basically a freshman in high school, unless they've been held back.
And sometimes like I get a lot of credit for stuff I don't do. They're like, man, like how you guys built those profiles? Like, yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how do you guys do that? Like, yeah.
It's been one of the things that I've always tried to, that was kind of the vision I had. It would be so cool to have a profile and be able to see that kind of stuff, see the results, see what they've done in the past, and, still working on some things, but there's always room for improvement, and kind of looking forward to the next 15 years. I mean, we've had 14 IPOs, so, growing that event and things like that. And the dream team was, after the dream team, I can just say that I was like, what can I do to top this? That was like an awesome night of wrestling.
And think about like how many, future All-Americans were in there, and just, it's crazy.
Yeah. There were two guys.
Attended my first IPO this year.
Yeah.
Finally. Yeah.
The dream team, two of the guys that wrestled in it, Franek and Real Woods, were at Wrestle for Iowa now. There was a third one that did wrestle for Iowa, but not anymore.
He's getting a bogus rap, I felt like.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wrestled in it a couple times. So I thought like that's been really cool. The growth of that, like I said, the articles, the magazine, like the magazine was, how the magazine's grown over the years. It's just like it's really cool to see and just kind of be a part of.
Yeah. So
a small part of it.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone that has supported us buying a magazine or going to IPO or just saying thanks and posting trash talk on the message board to get more clicks.
Well, I think that's a big part of it too, man. Just the message board's kind of like, sometimes it's dead, but like, like I think people used to be like, oh man, like, do you ever get like upset at like so-and-so who's on the board? Like, and I just use like Garcia. Like people are like, oh, do you get mad at Garcia? I was like, no, actually I like what Chris does. I think Chris does a great job. It like brings people in there. It creates like an area where like people want to see that,
Yeah.
Like people have to go there to see what he's going to say. And if every team had a guy like Chris, like obviously he's been the benefit of some really good teams and his boys are really good, but it makes like for more excitement, it builds excitement.
Yeah, definitely. It's a when there's rivalries, when there's people, putting out predictions saying, this team's gonna beat this team, and then someone from that team's like, no, they're not. You guys aren't gonna win this match or this match. It gets fun, and I think most of the stuff is we do a good job of keeping people from posting being down on kids, but post your predictions and all that stuff.
Yeah, like I was just telling someone the other day, they're like, oh man, like it used to be this. I was like, yeah, but like you don't want people like go fight. One, you're not, if you're posted on a message board, you're not trying to fight anybody for real. like oh, when I see you, okay, cool. Like you're gonna see me and you're not gonna do nothing. And like you don't like that, and then like you don't need people like like really bashing kids. Like they're still kids. So I think that part of it, and they're like, well, that's exciting. Like if you're an adult and you're looking for people tough talking on the internet and bashing kids, it's probably the wrong spot. Like go to Instagram. Like you can do that all day. But I think like that part's been really cool. The results, and then it's like spawned a couple shows. This show, the Dana and Rex show, has really done well, and it's really cool, man. I think it's a really cool thing.
Yep. So 15 years. Look for it. We're gonna hopefully maybe get another article out this week. I have the ideas. I gotta start getting them out to the writers. So if you have any ideas, contact me. I'll put it down on a list. Can't guarantee too much, but I like having the list and try to more focus on like seniors and stuff. If it's a younger person, a freshman or a sophomore, I'll probably just put it in for next year if I run out. But if not, I like to. We've done articles on over 100 teams, I believe, or kids or coaches or teams from 100 different teams. So my goal eventually is to get all 300 in some way. Give some love to all those schools. I think that's cool, especially. We talk about Crown Point, we talk about Brownsburg, we talk about Center Grove, we talk about Cathedral. There's a lot of other teams out there that are putting in a lot of work, and a lot of kids that are really talented that deserve that kind of recognition.
It doesn't always have to be like, like the Parker Reynolds story is really cool. It's a good story to come back. Yeah, like I seen the Bears just came back to get a field goal in field goal range, but it doesn't always have to be like a sad story or a comeback story. Like I think what I feel like and in our area, they used to do a really good job covering wrestling, and like obviously the papers have kind of downsized and it's really, really tough. But like we want to like recognize like the hard work of what people are doing in the state. And I think that's like the biggest thing. Like it's what the rankings do. Like people are like, well, that's your opinion. Well, I'm trying to like recognize what these guys are doing because I know how hard they work. It's more of a recognition thing. Like half the time my pick'ems are way off of that. And I think that's like the biggest thing. Like when we come on here, like we don't touch on every single match, but like the teams that are like have the most ranked guys are the easiest to talk about because they're the guys that have the most, the most things that we're aware of. But like you can't be upset if you're not posting results, if you're not sending emails. Like we don't ever talk about my kid. Like cool, man. Like I didn't even know like he wrestled that match because you guys didn't post it.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst, man. The absolute worst.
Yeah. That's legitimately like one of those things. Like, it looks cooler on your profile, on your ranking, when you have all your wins and losses on there, and you can just go in there and click it. Anybody, it's literally open for anyone to do it.
Yes.
Like people be like, I beat so and so, and you didn't put it in, bro. You can literally go in there. I can approve it. I can prove it today.
Yeah. Yes. And there's a lot of people
put it out.
Yeah. The people that do a lot of that, thank you very much for doing that. That's huge. That's huge. I mean, because we can't keep up with the
accurate. Hey, 15 years ago, you couldn't find anything out about like modern day. They kept their lineup super secret. Yes. And the state was just so much bigger in terms of information that, it's neat now to see more accurate rankings, people reaching out, sending you stuff. I've had people messaging me during this show with like lineup changes to the rankings and stuff. So, I mean, I appreciate all the help. I mean, I take it all, I appreciate everything I can get. So,
yeah, I remember, if people don't know kind of what happened to how IndianaMat got started was that Coach Association had a message board that was a lot of fun. I'll admit it was a lot of fun. And, and it got hacked, and it would have been about this time, maybe 3 or 4 days, about a week, it was probably for about 2 weeks. It was down a week to 2 weeks. And me, I'm sure, both of you guys were also kind of feeding for information. And it was right this time where everything's starting to get heated up. As a coach, I'm looking for lineups. You could still get to most newspapers for free. So you're still kind of looking at newspapers and trying to find lineups and find results and all that stuff. And then, we were like, no one's going to get results out there. No one's, I'm fiending for the talk. I'm fiending to trash talk TripleB about class wrestling, So, and then obviously I got talked into it and, got the board going and stuff, and they end up getting their board going a little bit, but I think the takeover was their comeback wasn't very, very long. So they've since then conceded defeat to the 800-pound gorilla, and that was Chad's idea. So a lot of the ideas are probably not mine for the most part. They're a lot of like Chad, Mike, Nick, you guys, all you guys will give me an idea, and I'll analyze it and then run with it. But Chad was the starter of a lot of ideas. He's like, yeah, the 800-pound gorilla. I'm like, what is, I didn't totally understand. I looked it up. I go, yes, let's do it. Because I was probably fairly well known on the board, even though I was still fairly anonymous at that time. So, it's been pretty fun. And, I've enjoyed more than anything, the friendships we've reformed with, Howie, you guys, Caleb, Dane, and others that have, helped out with the website. And it's been fun to grow it, and, just a lot of cool things. So, yeah. Okay, now we might be done.
Bears got
Bears win, and they're gonna mess up their draft pick. So damn it.
I think Carolina's gonna let them get that number 1 pick.
They're gonna mess around and end up keeping Eberflus another year, and that'll be the worst thing that could ever happen.
Oh man, that would be terrible.
Are we gonna?
And that's how we're done, because we're going to Bears talk now. We got Bears win. Sorry, Vince.
You guys are depressed that the Bears won a game.
Hey, this late in the season, man, we need to clean house.
Players included?
Not Fields, but maybe everybody else. I'm a Fields believer. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. and let's go.
Yeah, I'm a Fields believer too.
You guys going to move to Arlington Heights too?
Dude, I think that would be better for them. Have you ever tried to get out of a Bears game? Holy smokes, man. Dude, it is not easy.
I've driven by there enough that I'm like, man, where do you park?
Like down by the lake, kind of. They have like designated parking garage, like parking areas.
You parking like McCormick Place? You can park there?
Yeah, a little bit further back by like Waverly Island or Northerly Island.
We took a taxi. We went to Notre Dame, Wisconsin, and we taxied an Uber and then walked back to the hotel.
How terrible is Lakeshore Drive when you're getting out of there? It's awful.
Oh. Yeah.
I can't imagine.
That being said, any region people, I'll give you plugs for Bears tickets. So whatever.
I feel like I've been seeing people selling them real cheap lately, especially right now because it's about to be cold. No one wants to go watch cold.
Hey, down here, the minute Burrows went on IR, all the Bengals tickets flooded Facebook. Everybody was selling their tickets for Bengals Steelers yesterday.
Nice.
Did you know Hawk would go? Hawk loves the Steelers, bro.
Maybe you can.
He could have got cheap tickets. Yeah.
So, anyway, well, we will see you guys next week. Thanks, Dustin, for joining us, and we'll see everyone next week.